The Astral or Desire Body by Annie Besant, read by Dave Marsland of Cardiff Theosophical Society. The Astral or Desire Body. The evolution of the astral body must be studied in relation to the physical, for while it plays the part of a creator on the physical plane, its own further development largely depends on the impulses received through the very organism it has created. It does not, for a long time, enjoy an independent life of its own on its own plane, and the organisation of the astral body in relation to the physical is quite a different matter, and much earlier in time than its organisation in relation to the astral world. In the East, they speak of the astral and mental vehicles of consciousness when acting in relation to the physical as koshas or sheaths, and use the term sharira or body for a form capable of independent action in the visible and invisible worlds. This distinction may serve us here. The astral sheath of the mineral is a mere cloud of appropriated astral matter and does not show any perceptible signs of organisation. The same is the case with most vegetables, but in some there seem to be certain indications of aggregations and lines which, in the light of later evolution, appear to be the dawn of incipient organisation. And in some old forest trees, distinct aggregations of astral matter are visible at certain points. In animals, these aggregations become clearly marked and definite, forming centres in the astral sheath of a permanent and specialised kind. These aggregations in the astral sheath are the beginnings of the centres which will build up the necessary organs in the physical body, and are not the often named chakras or wheels which belong to the organisation of the astral body itself and fit it for functioning on its own plane in connection with the mental sheath, as the lower type of the Eastern Sukshma Sharira or subtle body. The astral chakras are connected with the astral senses, so that a person in whom they are developed can see, hear, etc. on the astral plane. They lie far ahead of the point in evolution that we are considering, a point at which the perceptive powers of consciousness have not yet any organ, even on the physical plane. As these aggregations in the astral sheath appear, the impulses of consciousness on the astral plane play on the etheric double, forming etheric whirlpools, and corresponding centres thus arise in the astral sheath and physical body, the sympathetic system being thus built up. This system always remains thus directly connected with the astral centres, even after the cerebro-spinal system is evolved. But from the aggregations in the forepart of the astral sheath, 10 important centres are formed, which become connected with the brain through the sympathetic system and gradually become the dominant organs for the activities of the physical or waking consciousness. That is, for that part of the consciousness which functions normally through the cerebrospinal system. 5 out of the 10 serve to receive special impressions from the outside world, and are the centres through which the consciousness uses its perceptive powers. They are called in Sanskrit Jnanendriyas, literally knowledge senses, i.e. senses or sense centres by which knowledge is obtained. These set up, in the way before explained, 5 distinct etheric whirlpools, and thus construct 5 centres in the physical brain. These in turn severally shape and remain connected with their appropriate sense organs. Thus arise the 5 sense organs: the eyes, ears, tongue, nose, skin, specialised to receive impressions from the outer world, corresponding to the 5 perceptive powers of seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling and feeling. These are specialised ways in the lower worlds by which part of the perceptive ability of consciousness, its power of receiving external contacts, is exercised. They belong to the lower worlds and to the grosser forms of matter, which shut consciousness in and prevent it, thus enwrapped, from knowing other lives. They are openings in this dense veil of matter, permitting vibrations to enter in and reach the shrouded consciousness. The remaining 5 of these 10 astral centres serve to convey vibrations from consciousness to the outer world. They are the avenues outwards. As the knowledge centres are the avenues inwards, they are named Karmandriyas, literally action centres, senses or sense centres which cause action. These develop like the others, forming etheric whirlpools which make them motor centres in the physical brain. These again severally shape and remain connected with their appropriate motor organs, hands, feet, larynx, and organs of generation and excretion. We now have an organised astral sheath, and the continual action and reaction between this and the physical body improve both, and these together act on the consciousness and it reacts on them, both again gaining by this mutual interaction. These blind impulses of consciousness are guided in their play upon matter by the logic life in the group soul and by the nature spirits. Always it is life, consciousness, seeking to realize itself in matter, and matter responding in virtue of its own inherent qualities, vitalized by the action of the third logos.